Observing the world, there seem to be more problems than solutions. Supply chains, political uncertainties, skills shortage. Nevertheless, your IT has got to work both, reliably and constantly. What's necessary to be as safe as possible? Trend Micro claims you don't need just software, you need partnership. That's what I want to talk about to Frank Schwittaj, Senior Vice President Europe. My name is Ralf Czepanski. Frank Schwittaj, cybercriminal activity is smarter than ever before, probably. How come that you think that you can be ahead?
Yeah, as Trend Micro, we come with a track record of threat expertise of more than 35 years. But as you say, the threat landscape has been evolving. The attack surface has become bigger and bigger and has never been that big before. So the way we look at this from a security solution point of view is companies need to understand what is the risk and how can I transform risk into resiliency. And into that plays a lot of expertise and innovation, but also how do companies like Trend Micro partner up and team up with companies who use our technology.
They say everyone can be the next ones. Is failure an option?
Yeah, failure is a tricky discussion because many organizations, and this is the good news, are realizing they have to apply a different standpoint towards that question. And this new standpoint is all about, they need to think about, maybe I have been breached, I just don't know it yet. Or, equally important, I may get breached tomorrow. So this is a totally different mindset. So it's no longer
worse.
Well, actually, it's this mindset basically opens up to basically nearly plan for the worst, right? And what that actually means for organizations and how companies like Trend Micro can help is to move everything from a reactive towards a proactive approach.
The German Mittelstand is in trouble, more tracks, less expertise available. You say partnership is necessary, but therefore you need to deserve trustability, right? How do you?
Yeah, it's important to know that Mittelstand companies who are typically smaller than big corporate enterprises, they are facing exactly the same challenges. And they get, in many cases, even more attacked because especially in the German Mittelstand, there's a lot of those so-called hidden champions. So there's a lot of specific data and intellectual property at stake and at risk. So they need to create a risk to resilience measure and security controls as much as large, big organizations like banks, for example, or big tech companies. But they don't have that in-house expertise. So they rely far more than big organizations on partners that come in with threat expertise, but also are able and capable to team up and partner up as a trusted advisor. And this goes way beyond just selling a product or a piece of software.
And how do you work with the Mittelstand? How do you do that? Which business, you say, needs your help the most?
By the way, we typically say that every single company goes through this kind of journey of revisiting their security necessities and their requirements. So every organization is going through that revisiting approach at the moment. Our approach is basically on how we approach ourselves in front of these organizations is to be as close as possible to them. So we have a very, very big task force from a threat expertise perspective, but also, technical experts, sales experts, and together with our partner ecosystem, again, we want to get as close as possible to these organizations and with that to create and to accelerate that trustworthy advisory partnership.
In addition to cyber, regulations are getting stricter too. How do you keep up with compliance requirements?
Yeah, this is a key topic and a big challenge for many organizations out there because the amount and the complexity of those regulatory compliance-driven initiatives makes the job for the people in organizations who are responsible for cybersecurity even more difficult and challenging and complex. So part of our role as a leader in cybersecurity is also to help those organizations to understand what that regulatory initiative actually means and how companies like Trend Micro can help them to become compliant against that specific regulatory framework.
Because it's so much or so difficult?
It's actually both. It's the volume, but also the complexity. I give you one example. There's the European Union is launching basically right now a new compliance directive. It's called NIS 2, stands for Network and Information Security 2. And this kind of is targeted mainly towards what we call critical infrastructure. And in that new directive, basically, it's very clearly described on how companies and organizations in this sector, but also beyond that sector, have to protect themselves against cyber threat.
At the end, every company needs employees who are able to handle this. Is that the biggest problem?
It's definitely a key part of the overall challenge that organizations and the entire value chain is facing. Even Trend Micro, would like to hire more technical experts, but they are not everywhere available on the streets. Yeah, but there's an answer to that. The answer is to basically keep, also with artificial intelligence, machine learning, keep innovating, and as an outcome, keep automating security measures and security control, and bridge that and combine it with an increased degree of cybersecurity services. And this actually will help that shortage of skills and workforce.
Frank Schwitter, thanks for your points of view. And thank you for joining us, and see you next time.